Hey everybody, welcome to another tutorial. This time we're going to do a quick simple hook for a product image zoom. So basically when you're on the product page of your store, you can hover over an image and it would zoom in to give your customers a better view of what you're selling. We're going to use the jQuery Zoom plugin to accomplish this. You can utilize any Zoom JavaScript library using this method, but I'm only going to show this particular one. And I've already taken the time to, ahead of this video, read up on how to implement this. So if you're interested in the details of some of the things I'm coding, you can come and read up on the options of this particular plugin. I will add a link to this in the video description. So let's get started. So we are going to want to create a hook, and we want to put that hook into the bottom of the website. So if I scroll down to the bottom, I got my closed body tag here. I want it as low in the bottom of the DOM as I can get it, because jQuery is loaded right here, and I want to make sure that my libraries for what I'm building are below the loading of jQuery to make sure that everything lines up and works correctly. If I was to load it above this, jQuery wouldn't yet be loaded and it would throw errors unless I got really creative. So we'll go and we'll download this. Now all I need for this example is the jQuery Zoom minified JS. You could also use the non-minified version if you prefer. I don't need the rest of the files for this example, so I'm just going to copy that. Now the ext folder is where you normally put extra JavaScript files and stuff for your projects. It's just the easiest place to find things, and it keeps all of those types of files together. So I'm going to create a new folder in here. I'm going to call it Zoom. I prefer to keep everything kind of segregated into projects. Keeps everything nice and clean, and that way if I'm deleting stuff, I can easily find it throughout my directory structure. I could have thrown this file into the jQuery folder, but if future updates to the core require us to delete that jQuery folder, then it would also delete my Zoom plugin, which would not be what I would want. So I'm creating my own folder for this JavaScript, and I'm going to paste it. I had copied it from the previous screen there. So now I've got that file in there. So we've got the library ready to use. Now we just need to decide what hook we're going to target. So the hook I want to look for, again, is as low on the page as I can get it. So if I go under templates, default includes components. These template bottom and template top are the most important hook files out of the entire core. They have most of your common hooks that are loaded at the top of the page and the bottom of the page. They kind of wrap every page in the front end of the site. So if I go to the bottom, and here I can see my closed body tag, the inject body end is about as close as I can get to that closed body tag. So this is what I'm going to target. So I'm going to copy that just so I have that available to me in a minute. So creating a hook, you can either put it in includes, hooks, shop, and so on. But if you're running the latest version of Phoenix, 1.0.7.15-ish, I believe, is when they started putting the template system, really getting it strong. So again, it comes down to your version. You can either put it under shop and then product info and what we're about to do, or I'm going to actually demo putting this in the templates area because that's really the proper place to put it at this point. So I'm going to put this in the templates override, just because this is a good place for all of our custom hooks and whatnot. So I'm going to go to override, includes, hooks, shop, and I'm going to create a directory called product info. Now for this to work, you have to go into your admin and you have to make sure that you have enabled the override template as your template. Again, if you haven't watched the hooks getting started video and the templates and the overrides videos, you should probably pause this now and go watch those. I'll put links to those in the video description, but they explain really well on how to utilize the override template to, again, not get in the way of core changes, as well as allow you to customize any file that you want. And the hook getting started video definitely will fill in the blanks on what I'm about to show you. So we've created our includes hooks product info, shop product info folder. I'm now going to add a file in here and we'll call it image zoom. Okay, and so we're going to create a new class called hook shop product info image zoom. So again, that follows the path that we have here. Now hooks is plural over here. Hook is always singular in the class name. The rest should match, and it does. So now we're going to create a new function. We're going to call this listen inject body end. Now to make sure that that's working, we can echo test. And now if we go back and refresh this, if we refresh this, we go to the bottom, we can see our test outputs at the very bottom. So we know that our new hook is working. So now we just have to get it so it's meaningful. So the first thing we're going to do is create a here doc block. So in here we're going to create a script tag. And what we're going to do is load the library of the Zoom file that we downloaded. So in order to get that, we need to know what the path is of our catalog. So there is a variable that's available to us, a constant variable. And we are going to say that this equals to dir ws catalog. So then site path becomes value of this. The reason I did it this way is because I can actually add this into my here doc block by putting curly braces around it. You cannot do this. That doesn't work. It just interprets that as text. So and there are other ways to get constants into here doc blocks, but I believe the easiest way that works for me is just by putting it in curly braces as a variable. So that's the purpose of this. So then this will bring us to whatever our catalog directory structure is set up in the config file. So in this case, that's the root right there. We're going to want to then load the ext folder, the zoom folder, and jquery.zoom.min.js. Now just to make sure that that worked, we could refresh this again. We're going to have to actually return our script tag to the listener. So if I refresh this, scroll down to the bottom, I can see that it's put it in there. If I click on it, I get my Zoom file, so I know everything's linked, everything's working. So now we need to write some code to target this at the information that's on our product page. So if I push F12 in Chrome or Firefox, I'll get the developer tools. You can click this little icon here on the left, and then you can go click elements throughout the page, but I'm going to click on the image, and that will show me exactly what that image HTML is. It also shows me what its parent tags are so that I can figure out how I'm going to target this with JavaScript. So I want to target the PI gallery A tag because the A tag is the wrapper for the image. It's the next element above it. It's the wrapper. And in reading the documentation on jQuery Zoom, if you read this, it kind of explains how to target the image. So you want to target its parent. So in this case, that's the A tag. So I'm going to take the PI gallery and I'm going to write document.ready. Now what this is going to do is allow me to wait until jQuery is fully loaded and the document's fully loaded before it executes this. And then I'm going to target the PI gallery class with the A tag. So that will select that A tag. And I'm going to want to wrap that A tag in a span. And I'm going to choose that span to be an inline block. Now again, this is all based on the documentation I read on the Zoom jQuery plugin. So if you're interested in learning more about that, you can go read the documentation. We're going to make it so that the display value of the A tag is set to block. We're going to grab its parent. So now we're dealing directly with the PI gallery tag. And we're going to zoom that. And we're going to magnify it to 3. So that would be a 3 zoom level. Now, if I want to make that variable, I could actually create a variable in Java or in PHP up here, and we'll say that equals 3. And then I can go down here and put in curly braces, magnify there, and that way you can just change this number here and it would change the zoom level. So now if all this worked, we're going to go back here and refresh, and now I've got a zoom. So if I close this, and if I go back over here and I change this to 1.2, it should be a little bit of zoom. And if I change this to 20, it should be a whole lot of zoom. So we know that's working. So now if we wanted to do any more in here, we could definitely put some more styling and some more scripting in here if there's more that was required, but I think this pretty much accomplishes the mission. I'll put the Zoom package URL in the video description. I also plan on making this easy add-on available on phoenixaddons.com, so I'll put a link to that in the description, as well as the other videos that are a good idea to watch prior to watching this video. If you have any feedback, I'd love to hear it. Subscribe if you haven't already. Really appreciate getting more subscribers. I think about 20% of the people that are watching the videos right now are subscribing, which is great. I do plan on doing a whole bunch of videos on PHP, CSS, JavaScript, Bootstrap, and a whole bunch of other things that will be much broader than Phoenix. That will likely draw in some extra visitors to the channel. But I'm definitely interested in doing Phoenix related content. If you guys keep feeding me ideas, I'll keep going with it. So more videos to come. Thanks for watching, and until next time.